This chord is called C, or as Tommy Emmanuel would say, Si Senor. And if you're a beginner, you might be thinking, yes, it's a C, why is it so hard? If C major feels impossible, it's not your fingers, it's the spacing. C major isn't hard because it's advanced. It's hard because you have to spread your fingers across 3 frets. For beginners, this might be a big task, so let's set it up the smart way. This is what almost everyone does at first. Cramped fingers, tension, dead strings. Here's the trick. Set your ring finger on the 3rd fret of A string first, right there. You don't need to press hard if you have the proper action on your guitar, which means that the strings are not too far from the fretboard. And when you have the ring finger anchored, then you set up the middle finger on the D string, 2nd fret. And then finally place your 1st finger on the 1st fret on B string. And you should have a properly ringing C chord. Notice how I'm not squeezing like, oh, it shouldn't require too much pressure. Just place your fingers in the right places. So spread them across 3 frets and try to remain close to the fret you wanna be pressing the string on. So not here, or otherwise this will happen. There you shouldn't need too much pressure. Same here. Not there. There, a lot better. And this one, not there, but close enough to the fret, and they should be ringing beautifully. And also the angle of the fingers is pretty crucial. If you place them like this, maybe you can see, if they're like that flat there, you're not gonna get a beautifully sounding C chord, but when you put them in an angle like this, then you're not muting any strings by accident. And notice you can play this open C chord without the middle finger at all. You can just place the ring finger on the 3rd fret of A string and then place it in an angle so it mutes the D string fully. So the D string is not ringing at all. And then just place the 1st finger on the 1st fret of B string. This is called a C5, kind of an open power chord. And remember to check each string that it's ringing properly. And you can mute the low E string with your thumb. So if you don't mute the E string, it's going to sound like this, which is not bad or wrong. It's just a C chord with an E on the bass. So you mute that E string from there, so it doesn't ring. And you can strum through all the other strings when the low E is muted. And it should sound something like this. E string is not ringing. And always you should remember to check each string individually that it's ringing properly. So E should not be ringing, and then and if there's a dead string somewhere like this, then you know there's something that needs to be fixed here. Usually it's the angle of the fingers, so they are too flat on the fretboard. So they should be in an angle, so they only touch the string they're supposed to be touching. Here's a few cool variations that you can try. So first we have the basic open C, then you can add your pinky to the B string, 3rd fret, and you get a C at 9. And it's easy to take the pinky off to go back to regular C. Then you can take the 1st finger off and you get a C major 7. And then you can bring the 1st finger back and you're back to basic open C. So you can play around with these pretty easily and get some cool tones happening. And you can also place the pinky on the 3rd fret of high E string. Still a C, but now the G note is the highest note of them all, instead of the open E. And you can play around once again with this. And you can also play the C at 9 with just 3 fingers, like this. Or you can even play it with just 2 fingers. Middle finger on the 3rd fret of A string and the ring finger on the 3rd fret of B string. And you mute the D string with your middle finger, so it's not ringing. And you can also mute the high E string with your ring finger. So this is the 2-finger version, or you can add the pinky in there. And you can also add your middle finger on the G string, 2nd fret, and you will get a C6 chord. So you can play some boogie woogie rock and roll type of patterns just by removing the middle finger and putting it back. And you should be muting the D string again with the ring finger. So when you get bored just playing the open C major, there's a few variations that you can try to spice things up a little bit. And when you practice this, listen to your body. If there's a lot of pain, stop what you're doing and come back tomorrow again. Just practice a few minutes a day and your fingers will also start to get accustomed to the pressure of the strings. So be prepared that there will be a little bit of discomfort, of course, when you're doing new things. You're stretching your fingers and you're making them used to the pressure of the metal string going into your fingertip. So that's totally normal. Just don't do it too much a day. 5 minutes of this practice should be enough. And remember to relax your hand every now and then. Just don't keep it here for half an hour. Do stretches and then come back to the practice again. So C major is not hard, it's just wide. Train the space and not the speed. You're not in a hurry, you want to get this right. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Feel free to share, like, subscribe. And if you're looking for some personalized assistance on your journey as a beginner singing guitarist, check out the link in the description and book yourself a free call. And we will map out a strategy for you that you can start implementing right now. And it's totally for free. So hope to see you soon. Bye bye.